Good evening, everybody. It's time for Gadget Talk, the monthly creative cache show brought to you by the Geocache Talk Geocaching Network. If you're watching live and be part of the adventure tonight, please join us in the chat room. Participate with others as they watch the show. Memphis Mafia is over there hosting our chat room tonight. The link to the chat room is on the geocachetalk.com front page. It's the gray coffee cup. If you're listening later, please give it a like, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Now, here's your Gadget Talk host, Chad Champion, a.k.a. Bounce Bounce.
Thanks, Gary. You want to mention our sponsor?
Absolutely. Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook is designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared toward the hider who would rather go caching than do cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. Back to you, Chad.
Great. Thank you, Gary. Well, I want to welcome everybody to the April show of Gadget Talk and we're going to do our monthly build here tonight, which is going to be a magnetic lock Decipher. So this one's going to be a little bit different than what we've done in the past because there's not going to be any LEDs or no batteries. It's going to be a pretty simple cache that you can stick out there, cool. And hopefully will not require much maintenance at all.
Cool.
So we can start with maybe a parts list of what we need. So if everybody saw the parts list that was released, what you would need in the parts list.
Over to the camera. Too. You want me to do that?
Well, I can show them right here too.
Oh, you got it.
Yep. So one thing on the part list was the labels. So I have here waterproof vinyl labels that you can buy on Amazon. I think they were like $6 or $7. And then if you didn't want to buy the labels, you could go with a paint pen, which this happens just to be white. Sorry, that's probably a little bright there.
There you go. Just
a white paint pen to write numbers on the cache. You don't have to do the labels if you don't want to. Paint pen will work just fine. And then after that, an ammo can lock. So we're going to be building this in an ammo can. So on Amazon, I went ahead and purchased one of these ammo can lock systems here.
Okay.
Get it to do. So you just drill a hole in the front, which we'll be doing, and you insert the lock through it. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah. And then 2 rare earth magnets is right here, what I have here. And these happen to be about an inch. Just over an inch.
Those are large.
It was hard to find some that were much smaller, but these actually will end up working out fine. These are the exact size of the labels, so it'll be perfect.
Those are perfect because I've got the little ones right back here. Those are you can find them all certain sizes. Where's I can't find them right now. But you know what I mean? Here they are. You can find them. You obviously want that size, but you could get they are hard to, I wouldn't say hard to work with, but they're
well, and the rare earth ones are the good ones to get because they actually it'll make it a lot easier to.
There's the small ones.
Yes.
Well, and
those will work just fine too. It actually just make it a little more of a challenge.
Yeah. Well, that's true because they don't. Yeah, but there it is compared to a path tag.
Yeah.
So those are you can. But you're recommending really if you can get the larger ones, that'd be kind of cool because they fit perfectly.
They fit perfect for those labels. They're a little bit bigger than labels, but they're almost the exact size. So
okay,
it's what I recommend, but you can go with any size you want.
Cool
on those. So and then you'll need some double-sided tape, and these earth magnets here happen to come with, which I had sticking out here. And the one reason why I picked them is it came with a double-sided tape here, a 3M double-sided tape back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so those are good.
So you don't have to buy anything separate. And then for the lock to put on the front, you'll need a 5/16 inch drill bit.
Okay,
on there, and then of course a lock at the end. So that is it on building on supplies we'll need. Besides an ammo can, you'll need an ammo can. Now you can do this on metal and plastic. I'm actually going to do it on a metal ammo can.
Okay.
If you do it on plastic and you're not using a paint pen, you may want to get a blow dryer or a heat gun and heat up the vinyl letters onto the plastic so they'll adhere better. And you may want to clean the plastic with rubbing alcohol or something like that, denatured alcohol first. But yeah, if you heat it up, the vinyl will stick just fine. So we'll grab the ammo can here.
That's a good point. I guess you wouldn't want to use glue or anything like that. Eventually would degrade, I guess.
Yeah. Heating it up will work just fine. It's the same way when you're trying to wrap it around something, vinyl, you heat it up and stretch it.
Right.
So you get a good fill. So I'm going to use a metal ammo can that we have here. What I'm going to do, and I recommend doing for the beginning here, is to remove the top of it, since this one happens to come off. Now, this is a Harbor Freight one, so I don't know if the other ones that people buy, the top comes off, but I don't want to work with it on there.
Sure.
So, well, now that I say that, we need to drill our hole for our lock. So let me stick this back on.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
If you're out there, would love to have you as a sponsor.
Yeah. They're great. I mean, these ammo cans, you get them on sale all the time. So you can see the hole here, and you need to center the hole. And I actually I pre-drilled a starter hole there for us on this. And then, unfortunately, what I found out when installing this is these lock kits are supposed to fit perfect through the circle here on the can, and it actually did not on the Harbor Freight one. So I actually had to end up boring that out a little bit, and I made it a little bit loose so that it doesn't have to line up exactly when you're putting it on when you're trying to shut it. Otherwise, I think if you try to have it line up perfect, it's going to be a pain. So once you find that hole, get that hole set up there. I'm going to take my drill and drill bit.
Right.
And drill this hole out here. I'm going to pull it off here.
Yeah.
So we're just going to center it on that hole there and drill this out. And that should do it. Let me just double check fit in my lock. Okay, it fits perfect. So double check the fit, and it fits in there perfect. So now we can take the lid off. I only take the lid off because I have a tendency to have it come flying off.
Right.
I tip it sideways or do something. So now we're going to install this lock here, or the locking system.
Right.
So we'll install this here, and then on the inside, on the outside, what goes first is you have a washer.
Okay.
And then a rubber grommet that goes on. And what this does is this is going to actually tighten up from the inside, and this will seal the outside of the ammo can from any water from getting in.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, so we'll stick that on. And then there's a larger washer here that goes on the inside.
Dave's saying he sometimes has to make it oblongish. I like that. I think it's a word now.
Yes, I actually was thinking about that here right before the show, that I wonder if I should have tested it before
Good job, Dave.
before I did it. But yes,
oblongish.
I'm hoping that that's not the case. We may have to.
Well, we'll see.
And we're gonna need to grab a wrench here. Something I actually was not ready for.
That's fine. While you're doing that, Just Finding Our Way says, I use a screw in the hinge to keep it on. I've had too many that weren't put on right, and the first I knew was someone complaining about a wet ammo can.
Oh, yeah, and unfortunately, I haven't placed too many ammo cans, so I don't have the experience of that, but I can absolutely see that happening.
Audi calls them ovals. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, when we're doing lock systems, they're called double D knockouts is what we do for like a file cabinet lock.
Right.
Because it's not round.
Right, right.
You think I'd have a tool around this place?
Why would any of us think that?
I don't use wrenches too often in here.
That's funny.
There we go.
Tighten it
Okay,
down.
done. That works. And then if you wanted to be extra secure or extra cautious of any water getting in, if you don't trust the grommet there, that rubber grommet, which should be fine, you can always use this. I have this stuff here that's a DAP Ultra Clear. And it's a flexible all-purpose waterproof sealant. And it's clear, so you could actually take some of it on your finger and rub it around this, and it should seal it up just fine. You could actually stick some on the threads right before you stick it in, and it'd actually be all on the inside of the system. It's completely up to you, however you want to do it.
Show the front of that too, Chad. Okay. To see how it looks now. That just so you have. Well, yeah, that. I meant
let me turn around the right way.
Front of the ammo can. Oh yeah, the DAP. Yeah,
the front of the ammo can.
Yeah. So now you've got a hole, or not a hole, but you got the first part of the lock part, right?
Right. So you have, I don't know what you call this, the stud.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you have a washer and then a rubber grommet.
Gotcha.
And then on the inside you have another washer, and then it's a bolt.
Gotcha. All right. Cool.
So, and we'll see if that we have to make that oval. Okay, so that was the hard part. So now it's time to label it with your stickers. Now you can do this any way you want. So you could use stickers, or you can go ahead and use the paint pen on it, and you can peel these stickers off. And I had many thoughts on how to do this. If I should measure it, make it even, and honestly, what I thought is I'm just going to randomly stick them on there. So you can stick these on any way you can, any way you want. You can get more than one if you want, and do multiple. I actually got two colors because one of my thoughts was to add the two numbers, to put 4 magnets in, add the 4 sets of numbers together, or maybe divide the 2 different colors and then add them, something like that.
That's a cool idea.
Whatever. I just have all kinds of thoughts on stuff, and we're just going to keep this one simple and stick with one color. So we'll just add these anywhere on here, and I'm obviously going to randomize the numbers on here. And so the purpose of this is you're eventually going to end up putting the magnet right behind these numbers.
Okay.
And then that will be how you get the code, right? Whichever number is sticks is one of the numbers, and you can have them. You can the code could be any way you want to have it deciphered.
Sure.
Just like everything else we do. So you can put them on the front, the back, all over the place.
I think though that's makes it, like you said, it gives you a lot of variation. You could really kind of create a puzzle, that leads to this, that leads to, that leads you to open. So like you said, you could kind of use the numbers in different ways.
Yes.
To make it, another spice to the build, or to the final solution. So
yes, anything you want to do, we do these builds to kind of give you a point in the right direction of how to build something or how to build these, and then you can take it anywhere you want from there.
Yeah.
These are just kind of a generic way that I'm making it, but you can change it any way you want.
Right. No, that's a good idea.
So I think the longest part of this part of the show will be putting the stickers on.
Well, and like you said, you could really, if there people are, I'm sure, very much like I am in that. So somebody's asking about work with letters.
Yes, in fact, I almost bought some letters because you can have a lock. You can have a lock. Obviously, people know what they are. With, I don't know if you can see them, with letters on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. I'll work with letters, numbers.
You can show that one. Show that one again, real quick, Chad. Okay. I'm sorry, I was busy. Yeah. Those are cool. Yeah, I like that.
Setting.
Yep.
So
Yep.
obviously the code for this one is lock.
Well, if people haven't seen those before, that's cool. Roman numerals.
If you could find, if you could figure out the puzzle for it, yeah.
Adi mentioned about a geocache theme Ouija board. It's a neat
Yeah,
idea.
I think I've seen something like that online somewhere.
Right.
I know I saw a Jumanji board done.
Oh, neat.
But I thought I saw a Ouija board as well.
Yeah, just finding our way mentioned a birdhouse they've done. It's a bit challenging, but it's very popular. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know how many people has done something like this. It was kind of something I was thinking about, and then as I was thinking about it, I think I heard someone mention that someone has put one of these out like this as a birdhouse, which would work perfect. And then the rare earth magnet should work fine through that wood, depending on how thick it is.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Whenever I do the birdhouse, I'll drill a little bit. I'll make it closer to the edge. So
you'll recess the magnet into the wood.
Yeah, exactly. Cache the line mentioned about encode the numbers however you like. Say shapes, you count corners and all that. Darren mentioned about see how it's going to be in the end. Yeah, it's always interesting to do. These builds are really cool. So, what I was mentioning was that if you put other things like you're doing, or also if you were to do letters and numbers and colors or something, some of us that aren't the greatest at doing field puzzles are going to go, wait a minute, got the color yellow. There's 5 letters in the word. It's like, wait, you're overthinking it. But then again, am I overthinking it or am I not? So
I have one like this, but it's you have to touch all the LEDs with different prongs, and then you have to decrypt it. But and then you have to divide the numbers up. And I get a lot of people that actually figure out the number right away because they're all 2-digit numbers and it's a 4-digit code.
Oh yeah.
So and you multiply them, so you can only multiply 2-digit letters to a certain amount.
Yep. Symbols that correspond with numbers on a keyboard, that'd be interesting. Cache the line.
Anybody does one of these, I'd love to have them post a picture or send a picture to see what they came up with. Because you do symbols. I don't know how you're going to make that into a lock so that people can find it. But you can always put something on your cache page that a symbol equals something, a number or a letter.
Oh, that would be good. Gadget Talk Podcast at gmail.com.
Oh, yes. Like I said, be a good.
Send them right to that location. And we'll be able to review that. And
now you could put them on the bottom as well, but if that's going to be sitting in dirt, I don't know if I would do that myself. I'm going to just stick to the sides.
We lost the overhead camera, by the way. We'll get that fixed. But
I don't know what's up. I'm going to have to get a new computer for that one.
Yeah, there you go. While you're doing that, Jesse, there it is. I got it back. There you go. Yeah, so you could do different ones for that. Yeah, just finding our way has the GC for that one. 7 CNP8. That's container nature puzzle. 8 CNP8. That's cool.
Is that the birdhouse one he was talking about?
Yeah, I think that's the one there. So
I'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah, and Dave mentioned about letters with ASCII codes. That's a cool idea. So, hey,
you can do whatever you want. You can see how I have 50 numbers here, and they're already taking up a lot of room. But you could always skip some of the lower letters, lower numbers if you wanted to. If you wanted to do double.
Right. I guess you have to be careful because wherever the final one is, you don't want it to be confusing as to which number it's sticking to.
Yeah, you don't want to have them too close, and I don't think it'll be too confusing on it, but we'll see here.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about this is they're going to need to bring a tot, obviously something that's magnetic, something metal,
Right.
or to find out what it is. Well, you can use your car keys if you want,
Right.
anything like that, or if you really want to make it easier, you can bring another magnet.
Right. No, absolutely. I've been carrying with me the little telescoping magnet because I tend to I'll drop something and I can use that to if it's metal, like fish around on the ground, I can find it. Or sometimes those are good for some caches where you can use the telescoping magnet for lots of different things. That's a really good tot to carry around. So,
well, since I'm running out of room on the sides because I don't want them to be too close, I'm just going to go ahead and put some on the lid.
That's a good idea.
I don't want to make it too close though to where.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to mention that the cacher there. I was just sending that. Let me see. Sorry. Just finding our way actually sent me. He did a one of our builds from a few months ago.
Right. Oh, cool.
On it, and he actually just sent me photos of it that I haven't had a chance to post on the Gadget Talk Instagram page yet.
Yeah, really. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So ERBA says, or Urba said, planning on taping magnets behind the numbers of the combo. I guess that would be my first thought on that is out in the wild, as we all have seen, you be careful when you use something like tape because weather will tend to obliterate tape depending on where you live, depending where you are in the world. Here in Texas, I've seen many a cache that had even duct tape, which duct tape's pretty strong, but I've seen where the duct tape is basically just fallen off the side of a container because even duct tape doesn't work real well over time because weather is the destroying factor.
Yeah, so for that, I would use, this is double-sided tape here that is made by Scotch, and it's called extreme mounting tape.
Right.
And we actually use these on commercial buildings on concrete, right to concrete that tape signs up, and certain things that actually, once it's up, it's almost impossible to pull off. So
okay.
I have not tested the 3M ones here, the little ones that came with the, sorry here.
You're fine.
The ones that came with the magnets, but the magnet's also going to want to stick to the ammo can. So I think with that little bit of tape there, it's going to be tough to pull it off. Of course, if someone wants to yank the magnet off, they're going to do it, no matter what.
Sure.
So, I don't know how you solve that issue, but you can go with a more extreme mounting tape if you would like to.
Adi's mentioning using maybe Gorilla all-weather outdoor tape. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, Urba, that's probably something that might be of a good note to use. Jesse's asking about, could you add glue or caulk to the magnet?
You could. And again, I don't know how well it would end up working. I mean, silicone would probably end up working good. You could probably use an epoxy on there. You can try anything you want. I'm going to go ahead and just use the tape that came with it, and
sure.
we'll try and pull one off, see how it works.
Yeah.
The longer it's on there, the more sticky it will be, right? Once I stick it on there and it's fairly new, it still hasn't set, but we'll take a look and see.
Dave concurs. For those that aren't familiar, both Adi and Dave do incredible gadgets. So Definitely people that to pay attention to.
Yeah, and then you may
Sage
want to.
advice.
I didn't do it on here, but you may want to leave room for a geocaching sticker or
yeah.
a label. So, yeah. So think about that when you're putting yours together. So now it's time to figure out what number we want to end up using, or what 2 numbers or 4 numbers, however you want to do your combination.
Sure.
I'm just going to go ahead and use 2 numbers, and I'm just going to randomly pick them myself. So we'll go with 23. And I'm just going to line it up underneath there and stick it on there.
Right.
And then I am probably going to go with 1 on the lid just to see how that works.
Just to trick it up a little bit.
That's right. It can't hurt.
Right.
And you know what's kind of fun about these kind of caches is there's no electronics, no LEDs, anything like that, but they get a ton of favorite points typically, just because of the experience that you're creating. It's just creative.
Well, and I think you said earlier too, and that maybe this is a perfect one for a location that you really don't want to get out to all the time. You can come out, you want to go out there once in a while, but maybe it's not one that, you don't want to go out and constantly pull a battery out of and try to replace.
Yes.
So this may fit that mold better if it's a location that it's a good location, but yet maybe it's not the best location for something that you want to do a lot of cache maintenance on.
So what I'm doing here real quick before I stick that is I'm figuring out my combination. So I just did 23 times 41 only comes to 943. So obviously it'd be 0943. Hopefully someone would know that. So I just wanted to real quick double check and make sure that what I'm doing is working out. It's not above 4 digits, or if you just have a 3-digit combination lock, which a lot of people sell those.
Right.
You want to make sure it's not above the 3 digits.
Right.
So we'll go with 41 on this. So if anybody ever ends up finding this one, which I don't know if it will go out or anything, you'll know what the combination is.
There you go. So Albedo 0.39 is asking, would this be listed as a traditional or a mystery type cache?
I would do it as a traditional with a puzzle attribute.
Okay.
But you can list it as whatever you want. But I find that traditionals get found a lot more than just making it a mystery. And so then I just do the puzzle attribute on it.
Right. Of course, Jesse mentioned where I go, but that is true. Very true. Some debate, not really debate, but some people are, some people like the idea of a field puzzle. Use that. Electric Water Boy thinks it should be a puzzle cache, but that's his bailiwick. So I think in theory it could be anything. I mean, with obviously that not anything non-virtual, I think could be. I mean, you could make it a letterbox hybrid. You could make it a end of a final on a multi.
Yeah, you can make it anything you want. I mean, it's up to you. As far as traditional or a puzzle or mystery, that's completely up to however you want to hide it.
Right.
I've had a lot of people tell me that mine should be puzzle caches, but I personally like them to be a traditional cache because I get a lot more people that find them. I have a lot of people that hate puzzle caches.
Sure.
So I just put the attribute on there. So on here, so I have that in there. It locks. So I shut the can. It locks in there, and we have the lock on here.
Cool.
And this is just a real cheap lock. So I'll take that off. Now let's go ahead and test it. So we'll need something. So if you're bringing something with you, it could be car keys, anything like that. But I'll just go ahead and use this washer since I have it around here. And so you just take it and run it along the cache here.
Pull it a little bit forward too, a little bit, Chad.
Sorry,
yeah. There you go. Thank you, my friend.
So if you ran it across here,
Yep.
You should know right where it is. Don't we have 23, is it? I believe it was 23, wasn't it? I will say this worked the other day, but I used my car keys.
You need something that's, yeah. See, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe that's a stainless steel washer. It's not a metal washer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try something with.
Well, what is it? 41.
I don't think.
I wonder if, because I did not try it with this sticker on there, the 3M. So it may be better to actually glue it and get that sticker away from between the two, the metal.
Oh, right.
Because the magnets stick by themselves to the can.
Oh, yeah. Because, well, in your case, it's metal being.
Yeah. If this was plastic, I don't think we'd be having an issue right now at all.
I don't know. It's stainless steel? Does stainless steel, is it ferrous or?
Stainless steel is typically not magnetic, but it depends on what type of stainless steel you get.
I think zinc versus some other metal.
Yeah, and some things are zinc coated. I don't know. Let's see, did I just stick it in there? Okay, yeah. See, so this one.
Go ahead.
Sticks right to it.
Gotcha.
So if you're running your keys across, it would stick.
Yep.
Right to it. And a little bit on this side. And this, so the other side, I just put the magnet right on the.
Yep.
On the can, and this side has that little piece of vinyl or the double-sided tape on it. So
that's.
I would probably recommend going away from the double-sided tape then, and doing the either gluing it to it,
right,
or putting the Gorilla tape or something they were talking about on there
over top. Yeah. So
yeah, over the top of it.
So make it straight metal to metal without any kind of anything in there, and then.
Yeah, or if people carry a tot with them that's a magnet, well, that wouldn't work either because that sticks. So I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing a pair of scissors here. I'm going to try the other type of this while we're here. Let me just try this extreme tape. And let's see if this changes it at all.
Yeah. Oh, Caching Dead New York, he is using the neodymium, the rare earth magnets, so that's pretty strong.
That's what these are as well, the rare earth magnets, but like I said, they worked fine when I tested it, but I didn't have them glued in or double-sided taped on there.
Just finding our way, mentioned an E6000. I have to look that one up. That's cool. Yeah. I don't know if is that neodymium too. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, Darren's pointing out there's 2 layers of metal. Yeah, but still, I think you're. Oh, it's a particular glue. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Glue. So E6000 glue adhesive. Okay, thanks. Appreciate you guys and gals, because we clear glue. Okay, that's what that E6000. Okay, interesting. Good to know.
This stuff sticks.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think about that lid being double-sided, so maybe the lid is not a good place.
Right.
To put it. Okay, 49. Let's try that.
Try a different number.
Yeah. Now we're just troubleshooting our issue here.
Hey, that's part of it. E6000 apparently is DJ House approved, and many other people approved. So
I've not used it.
Good to know.
I think this is actually worse. This kind of double-sided tape.
Oh,
That's about the same. Okay, well then we're going to recommend using glue.
there you go.
No wonder I have this Gorilla epoxy, this 5-minute epoxy
Right.
here. I wonder how that would end up working on it. But if you put the magnet on first and then you epoxy around it, you won't have any issues with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now
I know in the past I've used, well, I guess I don't need to take the magnet off. I've used JB Weld.
Okay. Right.
To put magnets actually inside of lids to ABS or PVC pipe to hold them in there. So, and that works very well. So I would still put numbers on the top, but maybe not put the magnet up there. That'll just kind of be,
Right.
an area for them to look for.
Sure.
Test.
Yeah, because something else that I like the idea of what you're talking about, or what a lot of people in the chat room are talking about, as far as gluing over top of it once it's in there. Because even if you don't, people put swag in there, and even though it's a really strong magnet, they might bump it. If they bump it, or if they steal it, which you hope they don't steal it, but if it's glued in, you have less likely chance of if it's getting moved out off of the number, or somebody taking it. It'd be bad.
Yeah. Yes. So, and on it, I could try it, I guess, real quick. But I mean, some of this would work. But I think that E6000.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get some of that and test it, and we'll have to do a follow up on the next podcast about it.
that's
to
cool.
See what ends up working the best.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And so then that's pretty much it. Really simple, easy.
Pull forward a little, Chad, and if you would put the lock on it again too. Yeah, because I don't think we got a good shot. We just want to get a good shot of the side of it as well with the lock, just so people can kind of see the.
This lock is kind of a strange lock. I don't know if it's one I would end up using on here, but
yeah,
combination lock, 4-digit.
Yeah,
combination lock.
It's strong though. I mean, that's the good part about that one, is that it's solid. It's better than the.
Yep. So there's numbers all the way around.
Yep.
And you just have to put in your cache description to, use a tool or use a tie, use anything metal, something magnetic that will, besides a magnet,
right,
to find the combination. Now, real quick, actually, while we're here.
Yeah,
this
about adhesives is going to be interesting, right?
Yeah. So let's test it real quick, because I don't think this will end up being a problem. But I'm going to test it. Let's move this metal one out on a plastic ammo can.
Right. Audie's not allowed to use super glue at his house. I wonder what happened. What the backstory of that is.
This is the whole process on making a creative cache, is building it and then figuring out the problems and then figuring how to make the problems work. Okay, so that's the double-sided tape. And then we'll just use the screw again since we have it. And that sticks really easy.
So that works fine.
Yeah. And on this, you could actually end up using a magnet, since it's not magnetic like an ammo can, and it would stick
right
to the number very easy. So it'd work in a plastic ammo can. Easy, cool. A lot easier than a metal.
Right. And you used for that one, for the test that you just did, you did the 3M tape?
So on there I used the tape that came with the magnets, the 3M.
Yeah, okay. Right.
The 3M disc. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I'll show it again. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So that's the one you used for the test there.
I did, and then I also did use the Scotch.
Oh, okay.
And it actually ended up, it might have been worse. Maybe because it's petroleum based. Maybe it takes away some electricity or magnetism
Right.
from it. So,
we mentioned about the preparing the plastic. That's always a good idea. JD mentions that he's into the opposite. The info you need will be the non-magnetized numbers. That's interesting.
That's cool.
That is evil.
Hopefully one of your magnets doesn't fall off and then someone's sitting there with 3 digits that's not working or something.
Right.
That's a good idea. See that, and so that's the kind of stuff I love to hear about. And if you build that, make sure you post it on the Gadget Talk podcast or send us an email, and I'll post it because I'd love to see the ideas that you come up with or that cachers come up with on these.
Yeah, Rhonda pointed out that many, I don't know if all, but I know many, the ones I've seen too, Rhonda, they have a plastic spot for a lock anyway, which I've used and successfully.
Yeah, the plastic ammo cans come with a spot for a lock. So
typically,
yeah, typically, I know the ones I buy at Harbor Freight, these ones here,
yep,
they're inexpensive, come with it. The only thing on those is you put a lock on it and, someone could probably open it a tiny bit or can try and force it open.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, some cachers just want to get into it. So you could actually take a pair of wire snips and snip that off there really easy.
Yeah.
And you'd be in. But, if they want to get into it, they're going to get into it. There's nothing you're going to do about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the plastic ones come with that. So it's a little bit more affordable if you want to go with the plastic because you don't have to buy that $10 lock kit for the ammo can, the metal ammo can. So, yeah.
Dave was pointing out for those numbers that are on the exterior, they're out for the weather like that. If you could maybe possibly spray coat them.
Yeah, you can do anything like that. These ones here I went with. These are them in yellow. These are vinyl letter, and so these are weatherproof. So they shouldn't fade. They shouldn't have any issues. They shouldn't wear away at all.
Right.
At least for several years.
Sure.
But it doesn't hurt to be extra cautious. I've not tested these. That would be a good test for me to stick some of these out in the sun and see how they do.
Right.
But I do a lot of vinyl work, and so I know vinyl printing lasts a long time.
That lends itself to a lot of red herrings you could put on there. So you could have a lot of fun with make it as difficult or easy, like JD doing the opposites. That's kind of with a lot of numbers on there, people are adding them up and trying to figure it out. It's like, wait a minute, what numbers did we not have on there? Oh, that's the combination. Dang.
Yeah, one number at each stage of a multi. Sounds great.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean that's anything you come up with. We're just kind of pointing you to a direction and kind of giving you some ideas, and then from there you can go whatever direction you want to.
Yep.
On that. So, and again, if you want to not use the vinyl, you can just use a paint pen like we showed before. Right. I use these on HVAC units on roofs to number them and to put what size filters and stuff are in them. And it lasts years before I have to relabel them.
Oh, well, good.
I used to use Sharpies and they last one summer and you can't read it anymore.
Wow.
So the paint pens work very well. And I think it would work better on the metal than the wood on the plastic, but
sure.
Yeah. So as far as the build goes, that's pretty much
cool.
The build. Is there any questions anybody has in the talk? In the chat? Anything?
Yep. While we're doing that, I don't know, Jess, if you wanted to pop back in and comment, give final thoughts of anything you wanted on that, but
I was having fun just running the chat room.
I know.
Stage.
Pop in and say a few words here at the end. I guess is there? Do you want to talk about the one in 2 weeks, or do you want to chat, or you want to? Are we TBD on that so far?
Yeah, I had one set up, but he pushed off until June. So I'm going to talk with someone else. I am talking with someone else about one next week, and I think we'll end up doing it. I don't think he's going to have an issue with it, but I'd rather announce it a little bit later on.
Sure.
When we do.
Darren was wanting to know what the name of that Scotch double-sided tape you were showing.
The red stuff?
Yep, the red stuff.
It's a Scotch Extreme mounting tape. I don't know if you can kind of see it in there.
Hang on. Okay, there you go.
So it's Scotch, and then I'll go the right way. Somehow. Anyways, it's just Extreme mounting tape.
Okay.
So you buy it at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's not cheap. It's like $16 for this roll. But it works very well. I highly recommend it. So, and I see that Caching Dead New York asked about the missile launcher. I haven't done much with it since you saw it last.
Sure.
One of those projects that I get so far on it, and then I get distracted, squirrel, and then, go to something else. So I've started something here, a different puzzle that I think Gary has seen. Yeah, so it's going to be a box here, but it's pretty plain. I think it needs something else. It's going to have 4 sides and have multiple puzzles, and it'll be a puzzle box. This is a different panel I just ended up cutting today.
Go ahead, show that one. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is a different one I started cutting today. Sorry, for it.
Right.
And so it'll have lights and switches and stuff on it. So
cool.
Yeah, I need to get back to that. I will someday. I'll try and do it by next in a month, and then that way we can show it. I also started the ammo can that has the electromagnetic on it.
Right.
300 or 500 pounds, and then you can't lift it, and you got to figure out how to undo the magnet to get the code underneath it to open up the box. So I've started messing with that one again. So too much stuff.
I think the important thing about this build, just like some of your other builds that you've been doing, is to remember that you're given a basic idea, but you can really adapt this. And that's what really makes these fun, is being able to adapt this idea to almost anything, any cache type, any other type of build. You're given the idea, the basic idea, but you could really adapt this to a lot of things. There were several comments in the chat room about letters and codes and all kinds of stuff, but it could be even a lot further than that. And that could be one stage of a multi, and heard other people talking about other cache types. You're given the grain, that grain of an idea that really should be able to grow from there. And that's what we really want to see, is what people do with the ideas that you're giving them, right? You can just copy what you're doing, but take that and make it with your own spin. I think that's the key to this.
And to me, that's the fun part about finding geocaches or seeing what other people made, looking at it and going, oh, that's really cool. But, I think I can make it better. I can do this to it, or make it different and do this. And you put your own spin on that cache. And so, yeah, you're 100% correct. I mean, we're just trying to give people an idea of what we can do, kind of a starting point, and then they can, go from there, make it their own. And then, again, you could, I think I already mentioned, yeah, you can put multiple colors, you can do all kinds of stuff to it. So, and these stickers come in many different colors.
And of course, bonus points if you make it into a Where I Go.
Yes. and we had that on our first build. We had several people that actually took that build we did and they made it their own. One person put it in a book and put it in a library. So they had to bring a 9-volt battery and, find that book in the library and then, decrypt it from there. Someone put one in a junction box with a bison tube in it. That's great. That's what we want to do. We want to encourage people to do different builds like that, make it their own.
Perfect.
So yeah. Any other things in the chat?
I think we answered most things.
Yeah, everybody was paying attention. I don't think anybody was building along tonight. I think most people were trying to get ideas so they can see what they could build from there. But several people were making comments. I think you were sparking some ideas for a lot of people.
Oh, good. Good. I hope so. And then, I will say one thing that we'll have coming up in the future is I've had a lot of people ask me about my shop and what kind of tools I have
Right.
here. And so one of these episodes, we'll do a tour of my shop and show the different types of things I have, the plotters, the CNC machine, the printers, stuff like that.
No, I like that.
So I'm using the one I have here for my vinyl cutter is just a US cutter. It's a 36-inch. The one we use at the office or at the shop is Suma plotters. The one I have here is one that we started with and then obviously upgraded to a lot better vinyl cutters. So,
right.
But there's a lot of people that use that Cricut vinyl cutter. That is great. But you can see the vinyl cutter back here, and then I have some of my vinyl that hangs up there. Right. And then I have a lot of vinyl that's, wood grain, carbon fiber grain that I actually keep in a different area.
Okay, cool. Neat.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up and hopefully see everybody Sunday, and then next Tuesday we'll do Tuesdays with Geocache Talk. Jesse will come up with something, I'm sure.
And I want to mention to people, if you have an idea of a build, but you don't quite know how to get it started, send me an email about it. I'd love to try and help you out. Maybe we'll do it on the live build show and kind of show everybody how to make it. Or if you have any ideas of any kind of a build, just send us some ideas. Trying to come up with different builds sometimes is a challenge. At some point here soon, we're going to end up doing an Arduino show, and we're going to teach some basic coding on as far as just how to make an LED turn on and off. Right. We're going to start there, and then we'll start adding some buttons and switches, and kind of go from there. But we want to try and keep it, as easy as we can for everybody, so everybody can do these caches.
Yep, that's perfect. Yeah, as we mentioned, Gadget Talk Podcast on Instagram, and email is gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. So send us information for that. All right. Well, we're going to do our outro, and we'll see everybody later.
Yes.